So, as one might imagine, we're going to kind of flip a page and go into a completely different realm. This is illustration work that I think speaks for itself and could stand independent of the theme that we've got for this evening, but I think it's interesting to look at through that lens. And maybe presenter Nidhi Chanani will welcome you to it. So please give her a warm welcome yourself.
Hi, my name is Nidhi Chanani, and I'm an artist living and loving in San Francisco. I'm going to talk a little bit about growing up Indian in America, love, and the necessity for art in our everyday. I was born in Calcutta, and I came to the US when I was 4 months old. That's my green card when I arrived. My dad had 4 brothers, all who married and immigrated here. Each of them had kids, and together I grew up with 13 cousins. We were really more like siblings than cousins. We spent nearly every weekend, every holiday together, laughing, eating, and just hanging out. That's me in my birthday party with a lot of my cousins. I'm the one in the red. Growing up Indian was really great. I love being part of a really large family and a community full of culture, color, and love. But it was also difficult in the sense that I really wanted to pursue creativity, and it wasn't seen as a path to success, so it wasn't encouraged. I loved to read and I loved to draw, and I always wanted to be a writer. I love storytelling, but I also love drawing. And I would say that I love drawing probably since I was really young. I've drawn pretty much all my life, but I really started actively drawing a lot when I was 11. I'd fill pages and pages of sketchbooks with drawings. And on the sidelines of other books, I would draw intricate patterns. So like textbooks and fiction books, I would just draw on the sides, even though I wasn't supposed to. I remember this pattern work when I recently started wood burning. My illustration work is all digital, and I wanted to go back to something traditional. I started wood burning last year, and I love the feeling of creating original, unique, one-of-a-kind work that tells a story, but also I believe that these pieces are unique in that every time you look at them, you can find something new. It's almost like a piece that keeps giving. When I left for college, I went to UC Santa Cruz, and I studied literature. I loved that campus, and I was a young activist. I was protesting, writing, and fighting all the rights and wrongs. I was very passionate about feminism and Asian American advocacy. Also in college, I met a guy named Nick, and to me, he was the essence of awesome. I mean, he's out there in the audience. Look at that hair. I mean, it's amazing. He played guitar, and he was a great listener. Still is. And we fell in love. So Nick and I came from 2 really different worlds. When I met Nick, I had never heard Bob Dylan or gone to a real American Thanksgiving dinner. And he had never had Indian food, which he now loves, or seen a Bollywood film. And back then, I was really struggling with the desire to make my family proud while being true to myself. I don't think that this is unique to Asian Americans, but it feels like in our community the pressure is greater. My family came to this country and struggled a lot, and to reject all the things that they wanted me to do felt like it would be a really bad option. I wanted both to make myself proud, but also to make my family proud. And at that time, there was no exhibit with the work of Sanjay Patel. There weren't Indian artists I could point to and say, that's what I want to do. And even still, I feel like the art community has a long way to go in terms of diversity. And at every convention, event, and fair that I go to, people comment that I'm the only Indian female artist that they see. And it's kind of lonely. But it's a conundrum. There aren't many strong female voices, female Asian voices in the arts. So it's difficult to believe that it can be a path to success. But if we as a community, as friends, as parents, as siblings, don't encourage it, it'll continue to be this way. And art is necessary every day. I create a new illustration every day. Many people ask me where my inspiration comes from. It comes from my life, but it's in your life too. I really believe that we're surrounded by beauty. we're swimming in it. Art has the power to show that. Art is a means of communication and a tool whose power cannot be measured. Much like music, it makes you feel. But we're inundated with media, emails, stress, messages. It's easy to forget to pause and look around at the beauty that surrounds us. I actually don't think that I'm great at art, but I believe that my background in literature allows me to tell really great stories. And that's what I do. I tell stories from my life, from my imagination. In each piece I create, I'm not trying to be a great artist. I'm simply trying to connect, to make people happy, to make myself happy. I'm generally a really happy person, and I've really worked hard to make this my profession. And to be honest, I'm my own worst critic. This image, I was so unhappy with it when I made it. Not because of anything specific, but my struggle is I have an image in my mind and I try to translate that onto paper, and oftentimes I fail. Now, I've grown to love this image, and every so often I create an image that's exactly what I had in my head, like this one. That's the beauty of working and creating every day. If I don't like what I did today, I always have tomorrow. And my Indian family, full of doctors, engineers, business owners, IT professionals, all non-creative stuff, but creative in its own right, they're really proud. Not only that I'm successful as an artist, but that I'm doing something that none of them expected, and that I did it without knowing that it was going to work out. I took a risk. And I feel as much support from my work as an artist as I believe I would if I had become a doctor or an engineer or a lawyer. Now I have two families. Both my family and my husband's family support the arts and me, because it's not only about success, it's about dreaming, believing, and making an impact. Art